All right, let's talk about the marriage of the Dudu7 head unit with all the cables that we run prior. Basically, what we have here is the first cable that I plugged in here is the one that I run into the glove compartment for the 4G SIM card. That cable also contains analog connections if you want to interface with onboard amplifier using analog plugs. I'm not going to be using that, so I basically cover them with electrical tape just to avoid any noise interference. If this were to touch any metal, they could introduce noise audio feedback, and so I basically, just to be safe, I cover them all with tape. But I did left two of them that I connected to the CAN bus harness for the Subaru Outback for the auxiliary input. So as you can see, I left and right channel for auxiliary are connected to these two cables. That's going to allow me to preserve the E3.5 audio input on the OEM interface of the Subaru Outback in case you want to plug an old-fashioned MP3 player via 3.5 millimeter into the Subaru. That will allow you to bring that auxiliary input in. Everything else was taped. The next two you see here, this one contains the actual video input for the OEM camera. So I plugged the yellow cable, which is the video signal for the OEM camera, to the yellow cable on the harness that was sent for the Subaru Outback, the one that has the CAN bus decoder. So those are connected, and I electrically tape them together, not just for interference, but to keep them from disconnecting when the car is riding. The next two are the USB ports. So I have run one of the USB ports single into the glove compartment. The other two are going to be used, one to power the onboard microphone, and second to preserve the onboard USB ports of the Subaru Outback. So those are the two connected. Finally, the ones that I are left to connect, which I can't connect at this time because the unit is not close enough, is the FM AM antenna. I'll be plugging that to here. And then I have two additional cables. This white cable is the CAN bus data connector. This is what is used to interface with the steering wheel controls. So that cable needs to be plugged here. And the other cable is the power cable for the actual unit. It's the black cable. It goes right here, and it's somewhere in here. But that one is the other cable that I need to plug, but it doesn't reach. Oh, it's right here. This is part of the harness for the Subaru Outback, the one that has the CAN bus connected. So that cable will be plugged to here once I get the radio closer. Those are all the plugs that I have going on. I also plugged the USB-C extension that I have talked about earlier. That one is already plugged. The GPS antenna from the factory shark fin is connected, as well as the Wi-Fi antenna that we run right here. So I'll come back once I have the unit online.